Well, hello everybody. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up for you in just a moment. But before we begin, if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell below you there, and you're always going to get the latest episodes whenever they're available. And if you'd like to leave a comment on the comment section, you can do that. And you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Paul Mash TV. And you can comment the things you see there. You can also follow us and send us an inbox. We'd love to hear from you there. And you can also email us as well. It's paulmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist that want to be on the show, just send us an email and we'll show you the steps to do that. But we love fan mail, so if you're just simply a fan, just go ahead and send us an email and we'll get back to you. And all this is going to be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we have Albert Lepore from the band Monte Carlo. Very awesome artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we'll get started in that in just a second. But first, here is a quick word from Galtar. The guitar is made specifically for women, and we'll be right back right after this.
Ready in 5.
Darling, when nothing else seems to match up. Galtar, the musical apparel that fits any outfit. Galtar, bringing heaven to earth. One gal at a time. GaltarHeaven.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we have Albert Lepore from Monte Carlo. Thanks for joining us, Albert.
Hey, what's up, Paul? Good to be here, man.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to have you here today. How did it all begin for you as far as an artist goes? I mean, have you always wanted to be an artist since you were a little, or did it just come much later, or maybe it goes deeper than that? Tell us your story.
It started out, I was always into music. My uncle was a singer, like in the, I guess you could say the 60s or whatever. Yeah, he did like kind of like a lot of that, like when all the Fabians and all them guys came up, and he was like one of those guys. So he sang really well. He had a couple songs on the radio. He had a deal with somebody, and there is some stuff out there. He went under the name Sonny Vito, was his stage name. So he did it. My dad sang a little bit, but never really in like a big thing. He would just do like a lot of doo-wop stuff, and also all that. So all that kind of started with, there was always music in the house. I started out actually wanting to do football. Was the first thing I did. I played football for a long time, and maybe my junior year I stopped. I didn't get big enough. I didn't get tall enough. So it's like, it is what it is. And I kind of filtered to music after that, because I always had a love for music. My first band I ever liked was Kiss. That's the first band I remember ever seeing. I was born in 1973, and that was my band since I can remember.
Okay, well, they're obviously a big influence on you, Kiss, I guess. Did you have any other influences, or was it pretty much Kiss?
Well, it's weird because, nothing I do really sounds like Kiss, but I would say, early influences were probably, Kiss, Iron Maiden, and then, once you get more into the 80s, probably like, Motley Crue, Queensryche, like that kind of stuff. And then into the 90s, which is probably where I started singing in bands, probably like late 80s. And then like in the 90s, the voices kind of changed, which actually helped me because I didn't have to sing high or sing like an opera singer kind of deal. I didn't have a very, operatic voice. So I was able to use a deeper voice. And so once you start hearing like some of the deeper Guns N' Roses stuff, and then you had, the Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, which I'm heavily influenced by Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots. And then after that, you had your, the next set of bands were like Godsmack, Disturbed, so I'm like, anything from like that 70s to now, I try and stretch it as much as possible.
Yeah, that's a whole array of good bands right there.
Yeah.
I remember most of those bands, and they're definitely legends, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So how can we find your music? I mean, I'm sure people will want to download your music after watching this video. Maybe you're on social media. You want to talk about that as well? Give us a lowdown on that.
Yeah, you could check us out on Spotify. Go to Monte Carlo or Monte Carlo the band. You can find us on Spotify. Easiest way is probably to type in one of the song titles with the name, and that's probably the easiest way to get it. We do have a website, MonteCarloTheBand.com, and we also are on Facebook, Monte Carlo the Band, Facebook.com, however the hell you type that thing in. And we also have me and our drummer, Damien Monte Carlo. We have a podcast that we do that we also put the band stuff on, also called Dan Bird Entertainment is the thing, but the podcast is Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, and we do a lot of music stuff also. So we try and stay pretty active.
Okay, well, that's good. So go to Spotify and to go to their web address. I'm sure they'll keep you up to date on all the latest concerts that they have and shows, and you can check them out. And we're getting ready to watch this music video, "Poison Inside My Head."
Poison in your head.
Poison in your head. Okay. Yeah. Well, close enough, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that sounds self-explanatory. Maybe it goes deeper than that. But tell us a little story about this song here.
The songs, I mean, anything I write, I'm usually the lyric melody guy. So that's pretty much what I bring to the band. And anything that pretty much I write, if storyline, it's something that's going on. And then it's like pro wrestling, right? You just elevate it. You make it bigger than what the situation is, for a story. And this song's just about people who just kind of can't be their self. They're mimicking everybody, and everybody instead of creating your own path, you're worried about what somebody else is doing. So the poison in your head is it's somebody who's got a screwed up past that just can't move on, but they're trying to live through somebody else. And, my story is pretty much do your own thing. Leave me the hell alone.
Well, it is a really awesome song. I think the beginning of the song, I think, is probably the best part. I like the rhythm to that.
Yeah, awesome.
And you're going to watch that video in just a moment or so. But before we begin that video, I just want to thank you again, Albert, for being on the show. Come back anytime you guys want to promote something new, and we'll have you back on. You can promote that for us.
That sounds great. Paul Mash TV. Listen to Monte Carlo.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the plug there, by the way.
You're welcome, buddy.
So here it is, "Poison in My Head" by Monte Carlo, and it begins right now.